The English Pod. Speak English confidently.
Welcome to the English Pod, your space to relax, listen, and grow in English without stress. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam.
And I'm Lena. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Imagine this. You're a baby again. You can't read, you can't write, and you definitely don't know grammar rules. But every day, you're surrounded by voices, sounds, and conversations.
Exactly. And before you ever said your very first word, what were you doing for months and months?
You were listening. Listening to your parents, your brothers and sisters, maybe even the TV or the world around you.
And here's the amazing part. You weren't studying, you weren't memorizing, you were simply listening. And that's how you built the foundation for your first language.
Exactly. And the same thing works when you learn English. Listening gives you so many hidden benefits. The first one? Vocabulary. When you listen regularly, you hear words again and again in real situations. And the cool thing is, you don't just learn the word, you learn how it's actually used.
Yes? Like when you hear someone say, "It's a bit tricky," or "I'm so thrilled." You're not just memorizing tricky or thrilled, you're understanding their meaning from the tone and context. That makes the word stick in your brain.
Exactly. And the second benefit is grammar. Instead of memorizing rules from a book, your brain naturally starts to pick up patterns. For example, if you hear "she's been working all day" often enough, you'll get a feel for the present perfect continuous tense, even without studying it.
That's true. Listening is like grammar training in the background. You don't notice it, but your brain is absorbing how sentences are structured.
Another big benefit is pronunciation. When you listen carefully, you hear how native speakers connect words, where they put stress, and how they really sound in fast conversations.
And then, when you speak, you can copy those sounds. Almost like having your own built-in pronunciation coach.
Right? And finally, listening also helps with cultural understanding. You don't just hear the words. You pick up the style, the politeness, the humor, even the rhythm of conversation.
For example, in English, people often say things like, "Would you mind?" or "Could you please?" to sound polite. You probably won't learn that from a textbook, but you will pick it up from listening.
So, to sum it up, listening builds your vocabulary, sharpens your grammar, improves your pronunciation, and even connects you with culture. It's like a complete package for fluency.
And the best part is, it doesn't feel like hard work. You can just enjoy a podcast, a song, or a movie, and your English grows naturally.
So, Lena, let's get into it. Why is listening so powerful when it comes to learning English?
Well, the first big benefit is vocabulary. When you listen, you don't just see words, you hear them in action. You notice which words people actually use in daily conversations, how they combine them, and even those little expressions that never make it into a textbook.
Exactly. I remember when I first watched English movies, I kept hearing the phrase, "You know what I mean?" It wasn't in my textbook at all, but people used it constantly. That's when I realized listening gives you access to the real English people speak every day.
That reminds me of when I used to watch Friends. At first, I didn't understand all the jokes, but I kept hearing, "How you doing?" from Joey. And suddenly, I got it. It wasn't standard English, but it was natural, funny, and part of the culture. That's the magic of listening. You start recognizing how words live in conversations.
That's such a good example. And the second benefit is grammar. And no, I don't mean boring grammar rules. When you listen, your brain naturally begins to recognize patterns. You don't sit there thinking, that's the present perfect tense. Instead, you just get used to the way it sounds in real conversations.
Right. It's like how children learn their first language. They don't memorize grammar charts. They hear the same patterns again and again until it just feels natural.
Exactly. I actually had a moment like this when I was working with international colleagues. At first, I used to hesitate with phrases like, have you ever? But after hearing my coworkers use it so often, it became second nature to me. No grammar book needed, just repeated listening.
Yes. And the third benefit is pronunciation. This one is huge. When you listen carefully, you hear the rhythm, the intonation, the stress. And then, when you speak, you can mirror that sound. It's like your ears are training your mouth.
That's so true. I remember trying to say comfortable correctly. Reading it, I always wanted to say comfortable, but after hearing native speakers say comfortable again and again, I finally got it. Listening fixed what the dictionary couldn't.
Exactly. And there's one more thing, cultural understanding. Listening gives you a window into how people really communicate. It's not just about the words, it's about humor, politeness, emotions, even pauses and silences. Those little details tell you so much about how English works in real life.
Yes, like how in English, sometimes people say maybe when they really mean no. You only understand those cultural cues if you listen a lot.
Exactly. So to sum it up, listening helps you grow your vocabulary, understand grammar naturally, improve your pronunciation, and connect with culture. It's really a full package.
And honestly, it feels like a secret fast track to fluency. You're not just studying English, you're living it through your ears.
Okay, Sam, we've talked about why listening is powerful. But let's be real. Our listeners want to know how to actually use listening in daily life. What are the practical ways?
Great point. Let's start with one of my favorites, shadowing. It sounds fancy, but it's really simple. You listen to a short sentence and repeat it immediately, like an echo. For example, if the audio says, I'm going to the store, you copy it right away. Same rhythm, same sound.
Yes. And listeners, don't panic if you don't sound perfect at first. Think of shadowing like going to the gym. The first time, your muscles feel weak. But the more you practice, the stronger your English muscles get.
That's true. My first attempt at shadowing was a disaster. I sounded like a robot. But after a few weeks, I noticed my sentences started to flow. That's the real power of this method.
I love that. Okay, here's another one. Slow down the audio. Most apps, even YouTube, let you play at 0.75 speed. It's not cheating, it's smart. When English feels too fast, slow it down, catch the words, and then, once you're confident, bring it back to normal speed.
Oh yes, I used this when I was trying to understand British series. At normal speed, it felt like they were racing, but slowing it down helped me hear every word.
Exactly. And here's one of my personal favorites, listening while multitasking. If you're cooking, cleaning, walking, or riding the bus, just play an English podcast or music in the background. Even if you only catch a few words, your brain is soaking in the sounds.
Right. It's like background music for your brain. And since you mentioned music, songs are gold. Listen to a song, read the lyrics, then sing along. I used to challenge myself. Close the lyrics halfway through and see how much I could catch.
Oh, I did the same. When I was a teenager, I played my favorite English songs on repeat. At first, I just hummed nonsense, but soon I was singing real words. Without even noticing, I learned new vocabulary and better pronunciation.
Music makes learning effortless. But here's another tip. Repetition. Don't just listen once. Play the same podcast or video 3 or 4 times. The first time, you might catch only a few words. But by the third time, suddenly you understand full sentences.
Yes. And for learners who like a little challenge, try this. Listen to a short clip, pause it, and then repeat everything you remember. Or write down keywords. It's a mini test for your ears.
Love that. And here's a big one: different accents. English is global. It sounds different in the US, the UK, Australia, or even India. If you only listen to one accent, you'll get stuck. But if you train your ear with variety, you'll be ready for real conversations anywhere.
So true. Once I met a tourist from Australia, and I could barely keep up. After that, I started listening to different accents, and it made me much more confident.
Exactly. And here's my final favorite: active versus passive listening. Passive listening is when you let English play in the background, like while cooking. Active listening is when you sit down for just 5 to 10 minutes, take notes, repeat phrases, and really focus. Both are important, but mixing them makes learning powerful.
Yes, that's the perfect balance. You get the casual exposure and the deep practice.
So let's summarize. Your listening toolbox includes shadowing, slowing down audio, listening while multitasking, learning with songs, repeating the same material, testing yourself, exploring different accents, and mixing active and passive listening.
That's a pretty big toolbox. But here's the good news. You don't need to use all of them every day. Just pick 1 or 2 that feel fun and easy for you.
Exactly. Because consistency is the real magic. 10 minutes a day, every day, will do more for your English than 2 hours once a month.
Couldn't agree more. It's not about perfection. It's about progress, one day at a time. So, if there's one thing we want you to remember from today, it's this. Listening isn't just practice, it's your shortcut to fluency.
Exactly. And don't worry about catching every single word. Think of listening like planting seeds. Every time you listen, you're watering those seeds, and one day, they'll grow into confident conversations.
I love that image, Sam. And remember, even 5 minutes of listening a day makes a difference. Each moment you spend listening is building your confidence and training your brain.
We really hope today's tips gave you fresh, practical ideas to try. And if they did, we'd be so grateful if you subscribed to the podcast and shared this episode with a friend who's also learning English. You'll not only keep growing with us, you'll help someone else too.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you. Drop a quick comment or review and let us know, which listening habit will you try first?
Thank you for spending your time with us today. Keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, fluency is closer than you think.
Until next time, stay motivated, stay curious, and let your English journey shine. Bye for now.
See you in the next episode.